Shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win it! They win it! Set the Cleveland Cavaliers!
Imagine Michael Jordan bounding onto today's NBA hardwood, rim, sweat, and roar. All before he checks his phone. The question on everyone's lips. Would MJ survive in today's game? Or would he absolutely own it? Let's unpack this. Jordan, the undisputed GOAT of the 1990s, built his legacy on unmatched competitiveness, unmatched scoring, and unparalleled dominance. He won 6 championships, earned 5 MVP awards, redefined clutch moments, and left his mark with aerial ferocity. But the game today is different, faster, longer, more focused on spacing and three-point shooting. So how would his game translate? First, let's talk size and athleticism. At 6'6", with freakish vertical explosion, Jordan already possessed the elite athleticism that defines modern stars. Today, conditioning tech, nutrition science, and recovery methods would raise his physical ceiling even higher. Imagine MJ with modern strength training, cryotherapy, and load management. He'd still be Jordan, but even sharper, more explosive, and harder to guard. What about the spacing? Today's league prioritizes three-point shooting and floor spacing in a way that never existed in the 1990s. Imagine Jordan launching step-back threes off the dribble. Imagine him gliding off multiple screens, reading defensive rotations while keeping defenders panic-locked. We've seen video reconstructions cue him for 6 threes a game, not just 2. With his mid-range mastery and post moves, he'd dominate in today's space-everything offense. MJ's intensity, leadership, and mental toughness would translate seamlessly. With players and coaches today emphasizing mental preparation, his famed work ethic would fit right in. What if MJ embraced meditation, visualization, micro-focus routines? The added tools might push him from great to transcendent at a level we haven't even seen yet. But let's be real. Modern defense has changed. Today's players switch entire lineups onto each other, disrupt passing lanes, and overload the wing in ways outdated strategies couldn't handle. Could MJ adapt quickly to baseline switches with LeBron quiet lateral agility? Absolutely. He created separation in traffic, then imagine his post-up handles now. Plus, he'd relish guarding the toughest matchups, switching onto guards and applying his notorious shutdown defense, a knife-edge tool in today's perimeter-heavy game. Would MJ respect the three-point shot? Early in his career, there was suspicion about his volume, but Jordan evolved. In his last championship years, he hit threes regularly on catch-and-shoot sets. In today's era with coaching strategists, shot analytics, and team spacing doctrine, Jordan would thrive. The irony, when The Last Dance aired recently, we saw social media cry out, "He's a three-point shooter in waiting." What if MJ embraced the line fully and started jacking threes like a modern sniper? The league would adjust, defenses would collapse, and we'd see new icing tick footwork mixed with endless range. If MJ belongs in any era, it's this one. His mindset, driven by excellence, fits today's high-performance culture. Mindset coaches, recovery tech, data-driven enhancements, and micro-optimization, from diet to sleep. He'd dominate film study sessions with shot tracking, intake strategies, and personal biometric guides. MJ would become the evolutionary prototype of an athlete leveraging the full spectrum of today's human performance science. But would he survive? Let's be brutally honest. Yes, absolutely. Jordan thrived with physical grit, brutal playoff battles, and hand-check defense. But he'd also adapt. His competitive DNA guarantees. He'd change with the game. He'd trim the fadeaways for catch-and-shoot sets. He'd add step-backs, pull-ups, and mid-range floats. And defensively, he'd still be the hunter, switchable, now on-ball screen disruptor, and lockdown wing defender who once ripped rebounds with his bare hands like they were arguments rather than possessions. Sure, modern NBA is more global, more diverse, more social politically charged. MJ playing now would carry the same intense spotlight, endless off-count demands, and 24/7 media cycles that today's stars face. But if he thrived on pressure in the 96, imagine him now, streaming content, wearing custom sneakers, and dropping cryptic tweets before Game 6. The NBA would create him a new legend, version 2. Let's look at stats hypothetically. Jordan averaged 37.1 points in 1986-87 on mid-range and inside attacks. Today's pace and spacing might reduce volume slightly, but the accuracy and efficiency, working with modern offensive sets, could yield 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists per game on 50/40/90 splits. And defensively, 6-time All-Defensive Team? That would easily turn into multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards today. His influence on multiple positions would be game-changing. Some critics argue he never had to deal with load management, advanced biomechanics, or hip replacements. Could he handle longevity? But Jordan thrived under extreme physical duress and emotional pressure. With modern trainers and recovery, he'd likely extend his prime even longer, perhaps into his mid or late 40s, as recurring curiosity players sometimes do. His body would be better managed, prepared, and optimized to withstand the toll. The league, in turn, would shift to accommodate him. Coaching strategies, defensive schemes, analytics, floor spacing, they'd all adapt around him. Imagine building a roster perfect for him. Switchable bigs, shooters launching off his handoffs, and defensive versatility to guard the modern maximized lineups. He'd be a coach's dream nightmare. The invisible engine that makes dialing up everything else easy. In the end, the answer is clear. Michael Jordan wouldn't just survive in today's NBA, he'd star in it, completely. He'd still own the clutch, dominate the finals, and command global obsession. The difference is, he'd shoot more threes, play with even better durability, use the sport's infrastructure to push higher. And yes, he'd still be the narrative center of sports culture. Jordan in today's NBA isn't a nostalgic dream. He's a perfect fit. He's a blueprint for greatness, updated for speed, space, and science. More than ever, the game is ready for a player like MJ. And MJ? He'd meet it head-on, hungry as ever, ready to dominate anew. What do you think? Would Jordan become the first player to dominate across multiple NBA eras? Or would the evolution have humbled him? Let us know in the comments below.